In this lecture, we'll be discussing 10 situations and behaviors that can be a turn-off to women. Number 1, being a mama's boy. There is nothing wrong with being close to your mother. In fact, it can be rather endearing. Generally, men are likely to treat their girlfriend or their wife the way they treat their mother. So if you treat your mother with kindness and respect, this can be a very attractive quality. However, remember there's a fine line between having a good relationship with your mom and being a mama's boy. If you're not quite sure if you give the impression that you are a mama's boy, here are a few signs. Your mom calls you every day. You need to consult your mom about every decision that you make, from what you're going to have for dinner to where you're going to buy your first home. Your mom does everything for you, such as cooking, cleaning, laundry, even when you don't even live with her. Your mom tells you how to live your life, and you listen. Now ask yourself honestly, does this sound like you? If so, it might be time to cut the umbilical cord. Number 2, talking about yourself too much. Talking about what you do, what you have, and how wonderful you are to impress a woman can be a huge turnoff. It can give the impression that you are narcissistic, cocky, or completely fake. If you really want to impress your date, listen more and talk less. Number 3, being a know-it-all. Having an intellectually stimulating debate or a thoughtful discussion can help to foster a connection. State your opinion about a subject, but understand that not everyone will share your opinion, and that's okay. Don't spend too much of your energy trying to convince your date that you're right. Rather, spend time getting to know more about her perspective on the subject and try to understand why she has certain beliefs and opinions. Number 4, immaturity. A good sense of humor is an attractive quality, but remember there's a time and place to be funny. For example, humor is a great way to deflate an awkward or tense situation, but if a situation calls for a serious discussion, turn off the humor and take the conversation seriously. An inability to have a serious talk and masking these moments with humor can be a sign of immaturity or insecurity, which can be a huge turnoff. Try to balance your funny side with your romantic and flirtatious side. Another sign of immaturity is excessive partying, drinking, and spending money foolishly. Number 5, bad table manners. Be mindful of your table manners. Chew with your mouth closed, wait until you've swallowed your food before speaking, and wipe your face if the food is really messy. If you want to try something that's on her plate, make sure to ask before reaching out to take a bite. Also, allow the woman to order her food first and be polite to your server. Number 6, lingering ex-girlfriends. If you've been dating this woman for a while and you really like her and you're ready to commit, it's time to consider disconnecting any ties you have with your ex-girlfriends. Regular calls, texts, Facebook messages from an ex-girlfriend can create tension, confusion, and insecurity in a relationship. Number 7, still living at home. If you still live at home with your parents, this can be a huge turnoff for women. If you can afford it, consider moving out on your own. It'll make you a stronger person, give you more independence, and make you a more attractive partner. Number 8, smoking. Kissing a man who smokes is like kissing an ashtray, extremely unpleasant. Consider how your hands smell when you caress a woman's face. Also, it can really ruin a date if you're heading out for a smoke break every 15 minutes. For the sake of your health and for the woman you are with, consider breaking the smoking habit. Number 9, checking out other women. Have you been out on a date and noticed a very attractive woman walk by and you just couldn't help but sneak in a glare? Well, believe it or not, we notice these things. Now, I'm not saying to never check out a woman. It's totally natural to look at people we find attractive. But remember, there's a time and a place for this type of behavior. Sitting at a restaurant with your date or browsing the mall together is not the time. Save it for a guy's night or when you're alone. And last, number 10, being too touchy. As I mentioned in Lecture 4, when you're dating a woman, she's likely evaluating you and trying to determine if you're a nice guy or if you're a creep. So it's important to be very intuitive and learn how to identify when it's an appropriate time to touch a woman. Because women are generally more protective over who they allow in their personal space, I suggest you follow her lead and mimic her behavior. If you're on a first date, end the date with a hug. Wait until she has given you some signs that she's interested in you and that there is a connection before leaning in for a kiss. This concludes lecture number 5. In the next lecture, you will learn how to figure out if a woman is a good match for you before deciding to get into a relationship with her.